It starts with a wizard, he's old and he's wise, and though he is small, there is strength in his size. The Goliath from the west, he's not smart, but he's strong. The Flagon Slayers, this is their song. Now the warlock, he's lost all the memories he had, 'cause to deal with a demon went seemingly bad. And the druid on his quest to save the shadow plane, when you hear tortured souls, you'll remember his name. They're the Flagon Slayers, and this is their song. They're the Flagon Slayers, the adventure goes on. The cleric, she heals in the light of the moon. She wants to find purpose, it'll come someday soon. Then the rogue draws his sword, metals clashing again. When it comes to a duel, he will always win. They're the Flagon Slayers, they drink and they fight. They're the Flagon Slayers, by day or by night. They're the Flagon Slayers, and this is their song. They're the Flagon Slayers, the adventure goes on.
Welcome back to the Flagon Slayers, everybody. Hope you're having a good evening. How's everybody doing? Good, good. Alright, in case you missed last week, the trial commenced prosecuting Zygon and his willful breach of contract with his former patrons in order to form a new contract with a new patron.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. Innocent until proven guilty and all that. The party descended into the abyss, where Zygon and his legal team, including Anzu, Animus, and their new acquaintance, Kalimbo, were trying to defend him. A few of the guild members have been called to the witness stand, including Cirrus and Thea, along with Soph. Which that was a lot for the DM to do, let me tell you. There was 3 voices with 3 different accents. It was fun. But the trial has been temporarily suspended due to some sort of disturbance that the team does not quite know. You guys are currently in the one of the side chambers where the defense counsel and members of the team are allowed to strategize. Animus, when we left off, your arm began to burn, signifying that perhaps your patron was inching ever closer. And that's where we will pick up this evening. So, the group is currently sitting in this room. You see Animus's arm is beginning to kind of burn and glow a little bit. You see Callum appears to be kind of looking off into like the middle distance, and you see his lips moving, kind of like how a ventriloquist mouth moves.
Oh, we did have a call to the stand right when we left, Jacob. It was the last thing.
Oh, really? Oh, really? I might have
Velshinar.
forgotten something.
Velshinar was called to
yeah,
stand.
I did forget about that.
Giant.
I think what you had just
like to
released
ready
us from the recess,
Flagon.
and then immediately you
Yes,
called
okay.
Velshinar.
Thank you, no, Caleb. Okay.
Thank you, past Caleb. I know we all
Thanks,
give you
past
hate.
Caleb. Hi, future Caleb.
Yeah, fuck
No,
you,
we
Oh,
enjoy
so this
future
bit
Caleb, you
again.
stupid piece of shit.
We like past Caleb. He does great work.
Past Caleb.
Does he?
Cool.
Well, I mean, you just saved me there.
He's
So,
there. According to
let
these notes, he
me
did a
pull
good
up
job.
my
He's one of the Calebs of all time.
He's one of them, that's for sure. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Thank you, Caleb. We'll say that, like, Callum communicating with someone is happening within the courtroom. You guys can see that. And basically everything else is pretty much the same. You feel the air in the room begin to drop a few degrees. And you see the torchlight dim ever so slightly. Then you see like a puff of smoke, and no one's there. Similar to how the others have been summoned. But where the witness stand is, no one sits. You see Quintoris look kind of nervously through his notes, and he says to the judge, "Well, Your Honor, I believe my witness is refusing to show, and violating the summoning sigil that we presented him. Perhaps if we strengthened the magic, it would allow for him to appear."
Can I say something?
Anzu can say whatever Anzu wants in the middle of a courtroom.
Hold your tongue. He's a very dramatic person.
You guys wait a few more minutes, or a few more seconds. Gardanel weighs this. "I will grant an amplification to the summoning spell in order to allow this witness to come." You see the...
I'll look at Colum and be like, we're just letting this happen. We're just letting this happen.
I look over at Colum. Colum, why do we need this witness? This witness is not a good one. Has nothing to do with Zygon. Way more to do with Anzu and I. Don't really want to see him.
Well, you see, I read some of your notes on the 5, and I think this is beneficial to all of us because...
Not beneficial.
Okay, I haven't been completely honest with all of you.
Unbeneficial.
Okay. So, you know when they have you do the, you have to tell the truth. And if you don't, things happen. Luckily, the members of the guild were very honest.
Colum.
Do you think Velshinar is going to be if he's up there on this stand?
Colum, can I have permission to be excused from the courtroom?
I mean, I guess. Why do you need to leave?
I don't want to see him.
Yeah. Oh.
It's just not going to be good for the
I
whole
was going to
courtroom.
ask him where the world souls are, because I assumed he knew where they are.
Okay. Do you remember that thing that happened that you said we shouldn't talk to anyone about?
The thing with the screaming?
Yep. If he shows up, I cannot promise that I can control
just
that.
don't look at him.
No. I need to.
He's going to be over there. You're going to be over here. If you need to take a breather, go take a breather.
I'm taking a breather. I walk out of the courtroom.
Your Honor, he's taking a breather.
Is that the legal term for that?
It's close enough. Who are you, a lawyer? Also, you're in the audience. Why are you even saying anything?
I was more of Zach asking Jacob.
In the abyss, it's a
the
breather.
interaction of...
I yell it. Why?
Is that even the right term?
The fuck is a breather?
He's cast a message.
You see the bailiff amplify the summoning spell. You see all the torches in the courtroom go out all at once. And you guys, the temperature is dropping that you can see your breath in the room. You see another large puff of smoke. And then a skeleton appears on the stand. You see Quintoris look. Your Honor, this is not Velshanar. I would like to submit his written testimony into the record, and then you see, as they're going through this, the skeleton's mouth creaks open, kind of snapping, as you see. This is a pretty fresh skeleton. You see the ligaments are still kind of just like being briefly relieved of their rigor mortis, as you see the jaw kind of snaps into place. And you hear, it's coming from the skeleton, but it fills the entire room. And you hear a voice that is familiar to some of you. Anzu, it's a little bit older and a little bit more ragged than you remember.
Oh, he always sounded ragged.
How could... Maybe it sounds even more. You hear the voice echo through the room. Do not think to summon me. I arrive when I wish. And it just kind of echoes and wafts through. And then you see the skeleton get up and begins walking closer towards you, Zygon. And as it's getting closer, your armor begins to glow with this divine energy. And as the skeleton reaches out to you, as it's getting closer, you see the bone on its hand begin to disintegrate and go down the arm and all the way up until it just disintegrates as it's trying to get to you.
I'm gonna look at the bailiff and be like, what's going on here? We're just letting this guy come at me?
Well, he disintegrated, so you're okay.
Terrible bailiff.
Classic courtroom issues. Sorry, you tried to run at me. He just disintegrated. It's fine. We can't do it.
It's fine. You're fine.
He's not here anymore.
Yeah. Well, you want me to stop dust?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And you see he pulls out a small bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Officer, he's dead now.
Exactly.
Of course, and it gets everywhere. I want to go.
The torches then reignite. You see that about 15 people that were in the audience have died. They just collapsed and are dead.
Am I alive?
You're fine. You and Thea are fine.
I want to make sure.
Thea and Zygon both make a religion check, and Anzu make a Arcana check.
Can I make a ranger check?
You do your best, buddy.
That's our ranger.
Got a 29.
12.
29, 12, okay.
We are still in a room.
We are still in a room.
The room is still here.
17.
Anzu, you know kind of what happened. Thea and Zygon, you've read stories of necromantic magic of this level. Anzu, basically what happened is Velshanar took a piece of himself and transported it with the summoning thing, and he is so strong, and the necrotic energy that embodies him is so strong that those that are weak, lower than 5th level, instantly die in his presence. Just die, and even when it's a piece of him. Thea and Zygon, this is on the level of some of the strongest liches to ever exist. These are liches who are verging on godlike power. It is very, very rare, so much so that there's only been 3 in history. And the necrotic energy that it is giving off is almost like radiation. Like it's like Velshinar is a walking nuclear bomb that leaks necrotic energy, essentially.
That's safe.
So probably not the safest.
This big, strong guy couldn't even touch me. Doesn't seem so strong.
True, that is something that Thea and you both clock, is that your radiant energy repelled a piece of Velshinar, which is cool to know. Animus. As you're out in the lobby of the courtroom,
Just writing stuff down.
and just like,
Hanging out.
stuff down, you feel the pressure from something in the courtroom, and you see from underneath the crack of the door the lights go out. It's at this moment that a kind of taller man, looking to be in his probably mid-50s, kind of salt and pepper hair that's kind of long and goes just past the shoulders, almost like a lion's mane in look. Dressed in a very nice, like, almost like a king's robes sort of thing. He walks over to you and he says, the courtroom a little too much.
Do I recognize this guy?
Make a history check.
Can I do an insight check as well?
Sure. I'll let you do both.
I can add guidance to both, but I have to do them individually, correct?
So, insight check, what are you wanting to know?
Hold on, history check first. Let me get that out.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
17, 25 for history.
Okay.
Insight check is kind of just overall intentions. I just want to see, like, is the way he's presenting himself to me sound like he's genuinely just kind of like outside with me and he's just kind of like curious as to what I'm doing, or is it more like he knows he's there for a reason, he's noticed me alone, and he wants to talk to me?
That's going to be a high insight roll.
Okay, let me dumb it down a little then. Does it seem like it's more casual, or does it seem more on purpose that he's talking to me? That's more broad, without trying to get too specific.
Okay.
Oh, that was really good. Okay, I had a 25 for history and another 25 for insight.
You don't recognize this guy. He gives you the vibes of, like, ancient rulers that you've, like, studied. He has that kind of air to him. Insight. There's kind of this, like, mercurial nature to him. It seems like he is not, like... He does not view you one way or the other. He's genuinely curious because you're the only, like, non-demon or devil in here.
Okay.
And he seems to be interested, but not in, like, a, like, odd way.
Okay. And what does he look like?
Salt and pepper hair that kind of goes down towards his shoulders, kind of in the shape of a lion's mane. Kind of a thicker beard that covers the majority of his the lower part of his face.
Okay.
But it's like super tight and well groomed. Wearing, he appears human. Yeah, you can tell though in his eyes that he is likely a demon. You can see like this like goldish tint to his eyes, and where the white of his eyes would be is black.
Okay.
You don't see any like horns or anything like that. Dressed very much like in an old style kingly, like among the people attire sort of thing. Like he's not wearing like really long or lavish robes, but something that allows him to kind of be among others without, people stepping on his cloak or anything like that.
Okay. Court's just not something that I'm really into all the time, so I kind of need to come out here and, just get my thoughts down on a book and read a little bit.
It has nothing to do with the pretty nasty energy coming from in there.
Well, I walked out before the nasty energy, so it kind of ended up as a plus that I'm not being affected by that, but I'm kind of glad I'm not part of it at this moment. I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, You see him almost thinking, this is not the DM thinking, this is him thinking. You see him kind of contemplating. He goes by many names. He's deciding which one to give you. This is, you can call me Gregarian.
And that's your most common name, or just the name that you give people that you don't
It's a
want
name.
to know? Okay, I'll accept it for now. Gregarian? How do you spell that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna try to spell it as
Greg. Just call him Greg.
Just,
Greg.
that's good old Greg.
Alright. Are you here for the court, or do you, work here? Do you have another thing coming up, or you just happen to be around?
I was just passing through and felt the presence of two of the princes, so I assumed something interesting was happening.
Oh, yes. Always one of those things,
He's also eating a sandwich while he's talking to you, because I'm eating a sandwich.
Well, yeah, it is.
Sandwich.
Perception check. What kind of sandwich?
Ooh, you're not here.
What kind of...
Brady, roll a perception check to see if I tell you what sandwich I'm eating.
Ooh.
Does it have pickles?
It doesn't.
21.
Saigon, for a brief moment, you see a bunch of faces on a screen in front of you, and one of them is eating a hot ham and cheese.
Oh, man. Not the fourth wall.
And then boom, you're back.
I guess you said Brady.
Got a hankering. We need a recess.
Yes, it is an interesting court case for sure. One that I do wish I took a little more interest in. It's just, at this moment, a little too stressful in there for me, so had to take a breather, as they say in court. It's a legal term.
You see him examining you very clinically. It's almost as if, make an insight check.
Natural 20.
You get the idea that he is sizing you up while also there's an interest that you don't know why, but there's definitely an interest in you that goes beyond random guy talks to random bird person.
There's just a lot of questions I have about you, Gregarian.
He wants to bang you.
And I know that pushing you on some of those questions is just not worth my time, and probably will either, on one hand, have you not answer me, on the other hand, give me a bunch of riddles that eventually I figure out.
I was never one for the riddles.
So, who are you
it
really?
Is a little...
Is the real question.
Well, it is a little against etiquette to ask someone such a question.
Yeah,
I could ask you the same thing. Who are you really?
I think you might already know that.
Honestly, I do not.
As far
I
as
just saw a kinku who has flown much too far from his nest.
How do you know where my nest is?
Well, I assume it's not in the Abyss.
Well, that depends. Have I been sold into slavery in the Abyss? Kinku are well known as slaves.
Kinku aren't valuable enough for the Abyss, I'm afraid.
That's true. That is true. We are, unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, not exactly a species that excels in the underworlds and the lower material planes, or lower than the material planes, but I'm just a Kinku who is trying to help people in the material plane with a group of people who are trying to make a right in the world.
And who's to say what you do is right?
I guess no one, everyone, whoever meets us, no one really knows what's right, I guess. I thought I knew what was right for a long time. So, some claim to. I mean, if you ask Grazit and Fraz in there, they'll say one thing's right, and if you ask Pelor, then he'll say another thing's right. So
make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh man, this dice is going good tonight. 22.
Why do you say it?
I've rolled a 17, a natural 20, and a 19 with it.
You feel the mark on your arm begin to burn hotter?
I'm going to try to hold it down. Does a 22 allow me to hold that down?
For now.
Okay.
For now. I don't believe that I have gotten your name.
I go by a couple. Most notably Animus.
Good sandwich. So, Animus. The smell of sulfur. I believe that you're marked by someone.
Yeah. I'm not gonna try to hide anything, I mean... Like I said, maybe I do belong in the Abyss. Maybe I am a slave to someone.
I generally think that most people do not belong in the Abyss. It is a place to be forgotten. Most do not deserve such a fate.
Interesting.
Not all of us are enjoyers of suffering. Not all of us have been here long enough to think it is right.
I've met a few. Actually, I've met a few and read of many who agree with that statement. Though in the Abyss, or in any plane of existence similar, you do need to be wary of who you're talking to.
That's a good general practice.
Though in any plane of existence, I've usually tried to be wary of who I talk to.
Well, Animus, it is always nice discussing things with those of an open mind. I believe we will see each other again relatively soon. And he pulls out a card. You see it. And he hands it to you. And then he just starts walking away.
Okay. What does the card say?
The card says nothing on it.
Alright, cool. I love that.
There is an image on it, however. You see 5 dragon heads.
Oh,
no.
One after the other, after the other, after the other.
God damn it.
you change sides with us, I'll fucking kill you so quick, I swear to fucking God.
Why are you putting this on me? Stay in the courtroom.
Well,
fucking
Anzu,
in
you want
you.
an excuse to Anzu wants an excuse to kill Animus anyway.
I'm not giving him one. And this is 5. Obviously colored. Are they colored on this card?
It looks exactly like the sword that
Oh,
Marqueus has.
that's even worse. I was thinking something else.
Like Tiamat?
Yeah.
No, it's not Tiamat.
That's
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
the power is the creature's
Holy.
not. I'm gonna go back to writing.
Okay. Back inside the courtroom, you see Quintoris has recovered. Even like high-level people suffered some form of exhaustion. You see he's kind of recovered. You see Kip is still unconscious. You see a few, like the bailiff has fallen unconscious.
Jesus fuck.
The only people who are conscious right now are the players, the judge, Callum, and Quintoris. She surveys the room, and as she's surveying the room, Cirrus, she sees you, and the two of you lock eyes for a fleeting moment, and you feel yourself kind of tingling, like a weird, like, you know when you like sit on your hand or like you fall asleep and it feels like that whole body. And you notice a bit of your broken horn kind of grows back just a little bit. Just a small bit.
No.
Just a
I
little
don't
bit.
like that.
Getting pretty excited.
Like some of the little tiny micro cracks kind of begin to heal.
I don't like that.
But
I think you do.
as she's kind of surveying the room. Well, I believe it best for us to adjourn for the day. I will read Belshazzar's testimony. We will pick the trial up tomorrow morning.
You gonna read it for all of us?
The council should have all testimonies.
Yes, of course.
Very well.
Your Honor!
You're very welcome. The bailiff is unconscious. Please see yourselves out. The court is adjourned for the day.
Gonna need a stronger Baylor.
Worst bailiff.
Baylor?
Pathetic!
A
Baylor.
bailiff.
Sorry, yeah. Bailiff.
Callum, you see, he gets up and he's like, okay. Didn't think that was gonna happen. But let's, I've secured lodging for us, so let's go.
We don't get to go home.
Unfortunately, no. Unless we somehow find a piece of evidence that completely exonerates you, but I think she's probably gonna rule in favor tomorrow anyway.
I
So
don't like how sure this guy is. Like, I like it and don't like it, you know? It's one of those things.
it's almost too reassuring.
Yeah, it's like the reassurance and ego is nice because that's good to have with a lawyer, but it's also like when you're that reassuring, something has to go wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Occam's razor. Callum leads you guys out of the courtroom. Thea and Cirrus, you guys continue with them. Cirrus, as you're leaving, you see, you hear in your mind Dardanelle's voice as she says, I'm sorry. The doors close behind you.
Oh.
Can I Do I know it's in my mind, or...
Yeah, you do. You've gotten enough messages and everything that... Yeah.
Can I think back?
Sure.
Sorry for what?
No response.
Fuck.
So Callum leads you. You guys are still in the courthouse. He leads you to this kind of small, almost barracks-like room. As he ushers you in, the court has these rooms for us because trials tend to take a while down here in the abyss. So it's a bed.
What did Sirius see whenever his horn grew?
He didn't see anything. They just locked eyes.
With who? Gardenell?
Garno.
Okay. Damn, that connection though.
But I have some other cases that I need to inspect their progress. So I will be in the courthouse, but I will not be here directly until this evening. Don't go anywhere you're not supposed to. Which is basically everywhere. He shuts the door behind you. Animus, yeah, when they left the courtroom, you would have seen them, so...
Yeah, I walked with him. I just joined him.
Yeah.
So...
Turn to everybody and just be like, well, I'm glad to know that I'm a priority for this guy.
He's basically a public defender, man. What do you want?
Just like,
He's doing this pro bono.
What?
yeah, but one job at a time.
Did you see Velshanar Anzu / Flagon?
What did you say?
Did you see Velshanar?
Well, I saw what you saw with the fucking skeleton.
I wasn't in there. I left the courtroom.
Oh. Well, per typical Velshanar fashion, very dramatic, very flair, There was
Is he
a
always so
skeleton.
bony and tendony?
Yes. He said, thou shalt not summon me unless I want to be summoned. And then killed a bunch of people.
Well,
Serves the look you lose, right? Coming to my trial.
He is
I
evil.
just want some entertainment, man.
I met
At my expense.
a strange
I
man.
never said he was a nice person.
You met someone.
Yeah, it was.
Atta boy.
No. It was one of those weird situations that most of the time you wouldn't bring up, right?
Atta boy.
Except
like when Sirius
for.
got stuck in the sex dungeon. The sex dungeon.
Except for he
Willfully fell into a trap. Anyway, go ahead.
This situation just didn't feel accidental, and at the very end of it, he gave me this card, and I show them the card. It has the 5 dragon heads on it.
Well,
You
what
don't
the fuck? Are you cheating on us?
No, I assume he came in to say he knew where I was and gave me the card, and I would assume the 5 dragon heads would connect back to Marqueus and the 5.
Hmm?
Like his sword, the 5 dragon.
Mhm.
Yeah. He didn't tell me anything, honestly. He told me a name that he allegedly goes by. And that's about it. And then he said that it's interesting talking to people who share the view of the Abyss not being a great place for people to live.
Among other things.
Among a couple other things that realistically aren't too crazy important.
And what are those other things that weren't too important? Animus.
Seems like sizing me up. My name.
Have you told them the name? Have you told them the name yet?
Oh no. All he told me was his name was Gregorian, allegedly. He very clearly
Thea
had.
and
Let's call
Zygon
him Greg.
both make religion checks for me.
Damn,
Thea, I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I got like 8.
He also noticed that I was definitely not from the Abyss, but also am connected to an abyssal creature because he could somehow notice the name on my arm. So
It wasn't that he noticed the name on your arm; it's that he could smell
he smelled
their influence on
He
you.
could smell the name on my arm.
My religion check.
Notice.
A bit hard.
Yes.
You seem to notice your screaming condition.
Sometimes.
No, I didn't do any of that. So that wasn't an issue.
15.
15. And what was that saving throw?
Dirty 20.
Okay. Thea, as Animus says the name, I need you to roll D100 for me. As you suffer a wild magic surge.
Hey,
What?
blink into the astral plane.
It's fun this time of year. Cirrus knows.
I've been there a couple of times.
He's been there. He's done that.
87.
87.
Not the astral plane.
Dang.
Well, we're looking this up. I'm gonna grab a refill.
Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll a d4. No, roll a d6. And if you roll a 6, re-roll.
4.
Okay. Anzu, you begin to float off the ground. You were affected by the fly spell.
What the hell?
Yeah, Anzu can fly.
Wild magic is fun.
So the name doesn't really ring a bell to either you or Zygon. However, it does to the sorcerer aspect of whatever is inside you. So much so that the mere mention of the name flared the magic.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, and I told you I rolled a 17 on my religion check, right?
Yeah. Gregorian has been used. There was an archangel of Pelor a while ago that was named Gregorian, who was cast out and sent into the abyss, kind of like a Lucifer kind of dude, for questioning the role of the gods and believing that they should do more to protect the people of the Primaterial Plane. This happened before. This is pre-Calamity, so this is a very, very long time ago.
Pelor, you said?
Could have been that guy.
You got your angel on my sweatshirt.
Holy up, you're an angel.
What god was he a
Pelor.
Pelor? But that doesn't necessarily mean this is the Gregorian that you're talking
I
about.
mean, he was a demon of some sort.
Can we just call him Greg?
I think that would be a lot easier. Or Gregory.
Okay. So Greg,
Or Gregor.
right, is the reason I'm flying right now. So what do we need to know about this man?
I like to think that Anzu's like doing different poses in the air while flying, so he's like doing the paint me like one of your French girls pose as he's just kind of floating through the air.
Is Anzu wearing pants, or is he really giving us a show?
Well, Anzu, do you wear
Anzu does
anything
not wear
under your
underwear.
robe? Yeah, so yeah.
You should know this by now.
Another Anzu show.
Oh man.
Anzu and his eggs.
Yeah.
Oh
Definitely.
man. The card Anzu you can detect has arcane energy in it of some sort.
I will cast inspect.
Okay. It is a it is essentially a scrying focus. So it can allow the person to scry on the person holding it with little to no resistance.
Is there like a rat or something near us?
Not in the abyss, no.
Fuck. Can I just cast the spell magic? Will that make it go away?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. You make a wisdom saving throw.
I am the DM. I don't do that unless required in combat. Or in... Well, you know, not right now.
Look me on the DM.
Hey, you can take this chair if you want.
26.
I don't want it.
26. You see the magic kind of... And as it does, you see the card, the top layer, peels away. And it looks different now. You see that it is not, like, made of parchment or paper of any sort. This is made of very, very thin obsidian.
Anyone have a diamond pickaxe?
And you see some runes that are carved on it. Like chiseled into it so fine because it's like basically a shard of obsidian glass.
Can I read it?
Do you know Celestial?
Yes.
Okay. It reads Gregorian Herald of Pelor.
This guy, I'm assuming, is from the other dimension, right? Where Pelor is probably a dick.
I mean, he's not the best guy. He's...
But that's the same dude that the big fat cat guy makes food under, right?
Yeah. Religion is complicated,
Oscar?
dude. Yeah.
Flora's a aligned good, but once again is like a in Greek god senses does things for himself.
Not like a full Zeus. Think more of like an Ares
Yeah.
or a Hades.
Like he's helpful, he cares about people, but he also usually picks his own stuff over other people. Or like other gods, I guess.
I just don't really see him wanting to align himself with the 5.
Are you saying this to us as a group?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
That is strange to hear, considering everything.
well, this it could also be, not to interject, it could also be the real dude, and he's just rebranded his business cards.
To align with the 5.
Was he a human?
He took on the shape of a human, but very clearly was demonic. He had gold eyes, black, white, the blacks in the white of his eyes, and gave off a slight demonic presence that you get from abyssal creatures.
Yeah, isn't Pelor supposed to be a goody two-shoes?
I mean, generally,
You're a
yeah.
Boy Scout, that's fine, right?
There'll be stuff wrong with it.
Don't we know someone? Is
Yes, Oscar.
No, I was thinking, Hunter, did we put Mo in the Temple of Pelor, or was it a different temple?
No, that's where he
I
went.
believe Mo is in. We could ask him, although he might crawl into your room again. I don't know. if you want that. Are you comfortable with that?
I think we're past that part of our relationship.
Although, before his last day, I did
We
play
know
tag with
relationship.
him. He's incredibly good at that game.
It's
And
frightening.
hide and seek.
If we ever had a field day between guilds, we would want him on our team. That's for sure.
Well, he is in the guild still, technically. He was never disbarred.
Yeah, but
He
he's
is
kind of,
marked.
he is kind of like Braun and Lochnar, where they're part of the guild but separated right now.
So, for you religion buffs, the Dawn Father, or sometimes referred to as Pelor, is neutral good. So, take that as you will.
I mean, do we want to go chat with Mo? Is that really what you wanted?
No,
Hunter,
I
do
think
you want to play 2 characters?
I'll let you play Mo if you want to play Mo.
Oh, okay, I see how it is.
You'd have
no,
fun
you
playing
gotta play Mo if we go back to Mo.
Oh my gosh, I'd have to. Ooh, that's a very hard headspace.
No, I
That's getting
I sent
into
you the
Hunter's
reference
head.
to you.
I don't think we need to talk to Mo right now. I think we're stuck here. We need to focus on what we're doing, and maybe just keep this on like a. If someone sees this guy again, he had salt and peppery hair, very much like coming down to his shoulders, nice and thick like a lion's mane. He had a beard to match. He wore nice clothing that could be seen as following a, like a kingly, royal outfit that fits in with the common people. Something that's not too showy, but very clearly looks like it's part of some hierarchy.
I'm not quite sure what you just said, Animus, but
If we see him again, somebody just let me know. Or if it's me who sees him again, hopefully you guys are around for it. He didn't seem dangerous, though. Like, he did not give off any, like what we've been seeing lately with a lot of the people we've dealt with. He did not give off any of those vibes. He felt kind of just more interested and, like, ominous. Like who he used to meet before learning about the 5 and the coming end of the world. Anyways, what are we supposed to do?
Never mind.
Is what?
I guess we're just supposed to not really do anything and just kind of wait.
Go anywhere.
Just waste a day. We can't even go try to kill the Baylor today.
That'd probably be a bump in the road for the trial.
doesn't he
But not a great idea.
Here's the good thing, though. If we lose, we don't have to go back to trial.
I mean, that's very fair.
If
That
we
is very
win, I do
Easy
have...
for you to say.
That's true. If we win, I do have to go back to trial, and I have to then testify because my immunity is gone.
I need everyone to make a perception check.
Favorite.
Question to the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum Dragon have a name, or is it just the Platinum Dragon?
Platinum Dragon. Bahamut is usually the name. But Platinum Dragon works too.
Gotcha.
I got a nat
And what was that perception? You said?
28.
17.
Okay.
6.
That's our
So-
ranger.
12.
That's our Zygon. You all notice that the air around the barracks is beginning to get colder again.
Everybody, I've noticed the air around here is getting colder.
I've also
I'm
noticed that.
saying.
My left knee is starting to
Make
ache.
jokes all you want.
Oh, I totally
I look
forgot.
up and notice some shrinkage. I'm like, yes, it is getting colder.
I must check. Yes, it is.
Is Sirius's horn going back down a little bit?
No.
Not cold enough. Not cold enough.
Thea and Zygon, you see your holy symbols
Thanks, Brady.
beginning to kind of glow with this faint light. You see Zygon's glowing with this kind of like silvery sort of light, and then Thea's is glowing kind of purple.
Okay.
Touchdown, Bills.
Does it feel ominous? Or what?
There's definitely something in here. There's a presence, and you see the shadows on the wall begin to kind of shift and distort.
I like to put my chest out because it protected me the armor last time, so I'm just gonna.
I'd like to go full Zach Bagans and just yell, "Who's in here?"
You see the shadow on the wall kind of stretch out and have more of a physical shape. And you see just one eye kind of glowing. You see this glint of gold kind of glowing. And it just looks at all of you. Anzu, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Can I like look through my jeweler's loop and see if like I can see a different? Does it look any different?
Make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
30, 20.
If
26.
I move, does it follow me?
Oh yeah, the eye follows you, no matter where you're looking.
Just Zygon?
Everybody.
Oh, okay.
Does it to everybody at once, even if you move independently of each other. Anzu, you feel the skin on your hands begin to kind of crinkle and wither and pull taut against your bones. You take... You take 22 points of necrotic damage.
Damn.
Thea, what did you roll on your wisdom save?
26.
26, okay. As you look through the jeweler's loop, you see the loop begins to crack
No.
as it is perceiving whatever this entity is. And as you look at it, you see this almost like amalgamation of dozens of creatures. You see like tentacles, you see weird eldritch horror in front of you. And as you continue looking, the loop begins to crack more and more.
No. No.
If you want to, you can pull it down.
Pulling it down.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Now all that's left is the shadow with the golden eye. You all hear a voice echo through the room. Oh, it's always great to see old friends.
Oh.
And new ones, too. So, Anzu, I saw that you played a little game and brought your beloved back. Does she know everything that you have done? Do you know what she has done? And now, I get to play with your little niece.
What?
What a lovely experience that will be.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Inside check?
Uncle Val.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, Anzu knows who this is immediately.
I didn't... For some reason, my mind went towards either Velshinar or Crayon.
I didn't know that my little brokering would bring so many wonderful people together. I'm happy to see all your lovely faces. Perhaps they can join my collection.
Of course, yes, yes. Lovely to see you too, as a eyeball shadow.
Well, when you get immolated by a friend, you tend to have to take drastic measures.
When you try to kill innocent people, maybe someone should stop
No
you.
one is innocent, Anzu. You and I both know that. I shall see you all soon. Sooner than you'd like, and longer than I'd hope. But I'll leave you with one beautiful quandary. While you're here, who protects the ones you love? And then you see the room flood with necrotic energy. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Fuck!
Can I cast a counterspell on this?
This is not a spell, this is an ability. But I like the thought and the initiative.
Remember that time Jacob hated Counterspell?
I still do. I still think it's broken.
Just use more abilities. That's how you get rid
exactly.
of it.
That's how you get rid of it.
Jacob, can I get advantage?
Got 18.
On what grounds?
I fucking hate this game.
He's a ranger.
I will allow you once to say I hate this game to roll with advantage.
Wait. Do you want it to be
I'm
this
gonna burn it. No, I'm fucking burning it now. I'm fucking done.
That was just for Zach too. That was for no one
Fucking
else.
didn't help. I got a 10. Fuck.
That was great.
All right. Anyone that rolled below a 22, you are affected.
Awesome.
All right. Everybody takes 12d6 necrotic damage.
Oh my
I
god.
rolled 24. Do I take half?
I resist.
Yeah, you take half.
What is this, necrotic?
Yes, if you resist necrotic damage, it does half damage.
Can it be fire?
No. Nope.
Because he hates this game?
12, 15, that's 18, that's 22, 26, 34, 7, 8, 48 points of necrotic damage. If you rolled above a 22, that's half. So 24.
I'd like to say that I'm on the ground trying to hold in screams as best as possible.
Oh, yeah. You also realize, Animus, that you feel a little hurt in a weird way. He didn't acknowledge you. And you know what? That's not cool. But also, thank goodness he didn't acknowledge you.
True.
Well, is anyone unconscious? Okay. Good. You definitely don't want to be.
You're dead.
You know. Well, with that strange revelation, we will take tonight's break. So, you guys have just experienced something very, very strange. Also, Velshinar somehow knew where you were and was able to project himself across planes without being there.
He was already called to the court. He knew.
What a dick.
Oh, I'm freaking out still, by the way. I'm not playing this as a...
Make a wisdom saving throw, Animus.
I mean, it's good. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, you're a druid.
I rolled with disadvantage and I'm going to take the natural one.
Fair enough. You rolled a natural one on disadvantage.
I rolled a 16, and I was like, Animus hasn't seen Velshinar since he escaped.
So, Animus, it's funny that you should mention that. That's not what Velshinar looked like when you saw him. Or at least that's not how you remember seeing Velshinar.
Did he give off the same energy, though? Like, it was very clearly him?
Much stronger than the last time you were
So
near
more
him.
powerful, but it was clearly him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Anzu can confirm that, too.
Esther was always a cock.
So after about a minute or so, you guys have recovered. Animus, you're keeping it in for now. I mean, you've developed some tools to kind of keep yourself centered. Yeah, what are you guys gonna do?
I'm not sure why he had to be a fucking witness.
What does he have to do with all this?
Right? That was just traumatic. He still has my fucking family, that bastard.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever even met the man.
Well, that's the guy who enslaved me for my entire life and probably still has my parents or killed them, so, you know.
Math?
Also the one who helped create the world souls. So if anyone's gonna get us information about that.
Didn't he say that he called Belshazzar as a witness to find the world souls?
So the prosecution called Belshazzar, and the reason why Callum wasn't protesting it is because he thought he could get information on the world souls from Belshazzar.
Huh.
Brady, you look like a fisherman.
No, don't do that to him. You look cool, Brady.
No, I think you look awesome. Like, you look really cool. It just made me think of like the Life Aquatic and stuff like that.
What I'm going for?
I think it's your style, man.
Just eating my hearty soup here. You know?
Yeah, like you were eating soup, and I was like, that.
The hearty soup.
It's
I get like ice fisherman vibes.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe you're on a crab boat up in Alaska.
Yeah.
He needs the overalls for that.
Yeah, the big bright overalls.
Nah, he's more of an ice road trucker kind of guy.
Ice road truck.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
From a steel horse I ride. They're like, yeah, that's their theme song, isn't it?
On Deadliest Catch, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything anyone wants to do before they try and get some rest?
I'm not trying to mess anything up.
Yeah, I don't think we can do much.
Should we sleep in shifts? In case something like that happens again?
I'm probably not falling asleep for a sec, so I can take first shift.
I feel like we need to talk about Belshazzar.
I hate talking about him, and I don't
I think
want
that's
to.
why you need to talk about him.
I know we have to. It's just
I think
one of
you should
those-
probably tell me what you know of him, because I'm not quite sure how you know him very well.
We've gone over this answer. Your glaucoma's acting up again.
No, we've gone
It's
over
making you
it.
forget.
But you never told me specifics.
Well, you know one of the symptoms of glaucoma is memory loss. So.
Yeah. Not eyesight memory loss.
No. It's loss of memory, not loss of eye.
It's D&D glaucoma. To Anzu, it's gone so
Loss
much
of your
farther.
third eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, Anzu just remembers the name of a disease or condition called glaucoma, and he just thinks that's what it
He's a hypochondriac.
is.
But just because he can't remember
Yeah.
what's actually wrong with him.
At this point, I have told you guys everything I know about glaucoma.
Just pulls out like a old projector screen.
So this is your eyes.
Glaucoma and you.
It's just a
Got some
web and
pamphlets to hand out.
Yeah. It's the
Glaucoma.
projector heating up.
Does he bring out the little vis-a-vis markers?
Yes.
If we need a slight refresher on who Belshazzar is to me, for the audience and for the members of the group who haven't heard me talk about this because it's been 2 years since I think I've brought it up.
2 years of real life, so a lot longer.
I knew him under a different name when he took over the Shadowfell and enslaved my people and many others as Erebus. He was using us to mine some sort of energy or resource in the Shadowfell for years. I don't know exactly how long, but it had been decades at the very least. And I was born into the slaves there, where for whatever reason he took a liking to me and started teaching me certain spells, and he had me be part of the things that he would do that were usually behind closed doors for other people. At that point, I did not have my own voice. As a Kinku, we do not have voices. So when he started taking a liking to me, he gave me what was a blessing and a curse. He gave me a voice, and that is the one that you have all come to know as Animus's voice, though it's technically a voice stolen from an elf from hundreds of years ago. Though the elf is dead and does not exist anymore, and their soul is in a different place, if Velshinar had access to it, I would assume it's probably not a good place. He taught me a couple very small spells. I ended up sitting in on many of the torturings he did, which is where I got my name, because for audience purposes and possible group purposes again, Kinkus go by the name of what noises they mimic the most, or the first noises that they mimic, because Kinku can
Like
only...
farts.
Sure, it could be farts.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
I think in the
I just thought of a character.
in the DM guide, it is if it's a Kinku that is used for mining and they've heard the noise of a pickaxe
Like the
hitting,
sound of picks and stuff.
the Kinku will mimic.
It's what's in their environment.
Yeah, the Kinku who mimics that noise could be called Clank, something like that. That's usually how it works.
Where's Ratchet?
Could be Ratchet too.
Oh, come on, Zach. You know you loved it.
Animus was named Animus because he sat in on so many of these things that Velshinar did or Erebus did at the time, that those noises of these people getting tortured got stuck into his brain and traumatized him to the point where that was the main noise that he started making, which is the screeching that you guys hear when he is connected back to the Shadowfell throughout whatever memories or traumatic events happen. And that is why I'm known as Animus, which is a term that also loosely connects to Screeching Soul, which is the other name that Animus goes by. So, yeah, I mean, and then I guess whenever, like, you guys saw, whenever I was with you, I remembered, or I got the memory back of the world souls and me being part of the ritual process for them creating world souls with other Kinku. I would assume it's because our minds are so open that you're able to put something inside them. And then, as far as I know, my parents sacrificed themselves to send me back to the material plane. Though another memory that I had pop up similar to the world souls in the recent years shows some sort of demonic creature that's the one who actually had helped me escape. That's all I know of Velshinar. I do know that because I'm not sure about if my parents are alive or not, or if they're not and he's still enslaving people, which he almost assuredly is, I'm going to go back there and I'm going to free who I can, and I'm going to kill him. Or help kill him, because it seems like Anzu also has a slight retribution against him.
It'd be hard to kill him. He seems freaky powerful.
Yeah, he wasn't like that last time I saw him, but he was also connected to... Caleb, no, remember. Hold on. He was also connected to... Son of a bitch. I have to go to my old notebook.
Old notes. Old notes. Caleb takes old notes. I like to think that when Caleb DMs, he's going to have like a binder for each of us where he's going to take meticulous notes on things we say.
I have an interesting section here that I don't think anyone ever read, but I read it to Jacob one time at the very beginning of this campaign. So I'm going to read it now, 4.5 years later. Section on Erebus Incubus. He was a drow. When I saw him, he took the form of a drow. He was obsessed with the powers of darkness and studied the power of Betor, the 9 hells. He made a pact with the ruler of the devils of the 9 hells, Osmodeus. He's trying to gather the full power of darkness from the Shadowfell and enslaved thousands to do this work. It includes many races, including gnolls, goblins, kobolds, kinku, drow, other races that he may have enslaved since or before. He also has...
Crazy that something you created from so long ago is coming back.
I know.
I do this to all of you.
He also has his main things that he used that Animus remembers is vampires, shadow creatures, and devils that serve him. He continues to gain power from the darkness as they grow that power and mine it, and his powers are also being gained by Osmodeus.
A lot of interesting information there.
And we have seen I have seen Osmodeus once in that memory. In the memory that I had of the World Souls, the presence of Osmodeus was in the room at that time. And I'm not sure still how Osmodeus would be connected to all of this, unless it's just a pact, and Osmodeus just enjoys the power he's gaining from it and doesn't really care about the 5 and their plan. So... But I just remember... If there's any other core memories, they will either pop up or I just will never remember them, because the most vivid memory I have is realistically when I arrived on the material plane and immediately was in a forest at the base of a mountain and found the Arashari a couple days later. Or they found me, I guess would be a better way to say it. Is there anything about Velshinar we should know, Anzu, that he may be important?
He was a purist. Quite hated anybody that wasn't very talented with magic. And eventually it drove him into insanity.
Sounds about right.
Tried murdering all the students. Which, by the way, I don't recommend.
Yeah, murdering students is probably not the best route for a professor.
Yeah.
He does...
We were best friends. And we've known each other since I was a child. He was like a brother to me.
Well, he definitely has the powers of a lich, and I don't remember that. Whether I saw that or not, it could be closed in here, but I don't remember him having that strong of power of a lich. So, that is a scary thought, that he's gained so much from how deep he's dug himself.
Jacob, when I last saw him, he wasn't...
He was pretty crispy.
He was like on his way to becoming a lich, wasn't he?
So the last time we saw him was during the fight, and he got pretty burned, pretty bad. He had begun to study the dark magics, like necromancy. It's a completely valid possibility.
What do you guys think he meant about protecting our loved ones?
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't love
That's
that.
concerning to anyone else but me.
No, it's very concerning. Because if... I mean, there's nothing good about it that I can say. He's got an extreme amount of power, as we all just saw. He was able to even not become addressed or brought in by a very powerful magic for a court system and for the entire Abyss. I mean, the entire Abyss has a court system set up where you just get summoned automatically, and he was able to divert that into him not coming and sending something that was so powerful it killed multiple people in a courtroom. I mean, I think we just have to hope that it's a bluff or a way to scare us.
I need to get back as soon as possible.
Well,
finish our business here.
Yes. I think a reassuring thought is, Thea, your family seems like they could be in a very safe place. They know what they're doing. Your people have done this before. And Zygon, your family is in a very safe, probably the most safe city that exists on the material plane, and is very highly protected by other religions, which means if Velshinar tried to have any sort of contact in that city, then other gods could step in or show power for their clerics and paladins and warriors in that city to help fight him off. I can't promise anything for Sirius, and I'm not really sure about Anzu either. I don't know what other loved ones we may have.
You probably need to see if Linares is okay.
True. I think Linares will... Oh god, Anzu, I just remembered that Linares was part of all that. Do you think he'd go after Titania? She's pretty powerful, and once again, he doesn't have a lot of power in the Feywild.
Pissed her off too. I mean, he really turned against the whole group, wouldn't you say so, Jacob?
Oh yeah, I mean, by that point though, Titania had already left. When the big battle that killed Linares, Titania had already left. She was attending court in the Feywild, so she had been gone for a few years at that point.
I think we focus on what we're doing right now.
Jacob, do I know where Gardenelle is? Did I get?
Yeah, she's still in the courthouse. She's in the chamber that connects to the courtroom.
Is there a way for me to get there? Or is it...
Yeah, you could walk there. You'd have to go through the courtroom.
I would like to do that and go talk to
Do you want to tell them that you're leaving, or you just want to...
No, I'll just kind of fuck off.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Into the hells, alright?
It's our ranger.
30, 20?
Okay. Thea notices you leave, as does Animus, because of their passive perception.
It's very...
Alright. So, seriously, you kind of look around. You see people are taking bodies out of the courtroom still. You see, kind of standing off to the side, a few members of what you assume are legal teams and court officials and stuff like that. You see also kind of standing in the background a very well-dressed man, very long, flowing salt pepper hair, nice beard, just kind of watching, and he sees you, and you see him just track you with his eyes.
I go to the door and just like knock on the door.
Yeah. Oh, it's open. There's people
it's open?
going in and out because they're taking the bodies out.
Okay, can I go to the where Gardenelle is? I just want to
Yeah.
beeline to her.
Yeah, so you go through there, you see people are too busy dealing with everything else. You go in, you see her sitting at the desk with a small pair of glasses kind of resting on the end of her nose as she's reading over some of these written testimonies. She looks up, you two lock eyes once again. The tingles happen again, but your horn doesn't start regrowing.
Thank God.
It stays the same. She looks at you. I was hoping that we could have this conversation elsewhere, but I'm assuming you've come here to talk.
Yes. Is there a more private place we could chat?
I'm afraid this is the most private you're going to get. But, there are magics protecting this for the cases that come through the court, so you should feel relatively secure.
Cool. I do have a couple of questions, if you wouldn't mind answering.
I will try my best to answer.
First question. What do you mean by I'm sorry?
I had to drop my protections on the village. And as such, the village was scattered. I am having my people try and locate everyone and make sure everyone is safe. But there were some casualties that I assume you knew. There was an attack, and during which I fought alongside the village members. We were attacked by strange creatures with long claws and shrouded figures, black ink-like wings. I tried my best to keep everyone safe, but I'm afraid I was not powerful enough. We had hoped that by putting Velshinar on the witness list, we could summon him here and then imprison him for suspected crimes against most planes of existence, but it appears he was too clever, and was perhaps informed.
Was it Velshinar that attacked the village?
We think it was his agents. We have evidence to suggest that he is warping souls into these strange shadow creatures. I, along with a few like-minded individuals across planes, have begun an operation to either imprison or execute him. We believe he is on the prime material plane. And we also believe that your party has encountered his forces before. Once this trial concludes, we plan to ask for your assistance.
My assistance or my guild's assistance?
Both. I'm once again deeply sorry. And I do not know where all of your co-citizens are, but I am trying my best. The Feywild is an ever-changing place, and it is quite difficult to track people down.
Well, I appreciate anything and everything you can and will do and have done in the past.
Of course.
Alright, well, I think that about answers all my questions. Jacob, does this description of the creatures
It
ring a
matches
bell at
what
all?
you fought in the Stormcrest Mountains.
Okay. Okay. I will leave you be and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Briskly escape.
Cirrus, as you're leaving, I was able to salvage a piece of the wellspring tree. I wish for you to have it. And she hands you this small, what looks like a clipping of the wellspring tree, which is the tree that's in the center of the village that was essentially the source of the protection. It also allowed for the land to be farmed, and it was essentially the reason that you guys were able to exist where you did. You see there's a few singe marks on it, as if it was, perhaps the tree was burned down. But you now have that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I believe that the strongest among the village should have the key to the future.
I appreciate the sentiment. And very quickly leave. Fucking holding back tears and shit. Dude, Jacob, that my heart, bro. That hurt.
That was tough, dude.
That one hurt.
That was way different than what I thought was happening. Holy shit.
I thought the I'm sorry was in regards to Zygon. But fuck me.
Not even
Holy
close.
fuck. Now we
Yes!
have multiple reasons to fuck that motherfucker.
Going back with the group.
Oh, you try.
Uh-oh.
So,
Well,
Cirrus, as you're going through, you see the very well-dressed man kind of step in front of you.
Ah, goddamn.
I try to
voice.
sidestep him.
Yeah, just go around.
Oh, sorry, I was planning on going left. Are you? Oh no.
Excuse me,
My apologies. What is a tiefling like you doing in a place like this?
You know, I am here on personal reasons.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Gregarian.
Hi.
Slide his hand to shake yours.
I very slowly.
Okay. Very warm to the touch.
Was this the weird dude Animus was
Yes.
talking to?
Yes.
It is.
Alright.
Did you tell him your name?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Cirrus. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well, Cirrus. A shame what happened to your people.
What happened?
This guy.
Well, I mean, news travels fast in the abyss, and souls come to rest. And I just wanted to express my condolences. And also express my wish for a better tomorrow. I believe you also have that vision.
For a better tomorrow? Yes.
The future is not dictated by those above or below, but those who look forward.
I think most people typically look forward.
You'd be surprised.
It's kind of hard to look behind you all the time.
He pulls out a card, hands it to you. I hope we meet again soon, Cirrus. It's nice to find those who hope for the future. You see him just fade into the crowd.
What a badass. I like him.
No.
He's very cool.
No.
I pocket. Well, before I pocket it, does it look the same?
Five dragon heads.
The same one.
Son of a
Is there anything like on the back?
Make a perception check.
Whoa. There's nothing on the back. Perception is that would be an 8.
No noises, Jacob. No noises. Facial.
It's an 8. You rolled an 8.
Yep, I rolled an 8.
Okay, you rolled an 8.
I
Okay.
rolled an 8.
God. There is something on the back. It catches the light every so often, but you can't quite make it out.
Alright, cool. I will pocket the card and make my way back to...
Alright. So you make your way back in. Everybody's kind of trying to recuperate. You see Zygon and Thea kind of maybe healing. I don't know if they want to or not.
I joined them kind of like holding my stomach like, ugh.
Yeah. Bad bean burritos.
That one, ugh.
You see Callum comes back in as shortly after Cirrus, but go ahead, Cirrus.
Oh, I was Animus. You will never guess who I ran to in the bathroom.
Who'd you run into?
And I pull out the card.
No fucking shit. That
I know, right?
motherfucker.
I know.
Just talking about.
We were like standing there washing our hands, and he introduced himself. He was odd character, that Gregory or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Gregorian.
That one.
Yeah.
That guy.
What did he say to you? Was he like?
Something about always looking forward when you're walking. I don't know. It was weird.
Strange.
Yeah. Something about the future.
I really.
He might be a time traveler.
That's true. We've met a couple of those.
Met a couple. Yeah.
One was a little cat.
One
None of
was a
them
cat.
from this plane, though. Interesting. Could also be from the same plane as the 5.
Could be.
That would be.
You seem to know a lot about me, which was weird.
See, that then brings up my hunch on he knew exactly who I was when he walked up to me in the first place and knew pretty much everything he needed to know.
Yep.
Alright, if anyone else sees this man, you're going to get more information out of him than he gets out of you.
That's the goal.
Now that we know what his plan is, well, we don't know what his plan is, but he's given us these cards. And if he comes up to you in the bathroom or
Kill
whatever,
him.
well, I don't know about kill him. We are in Abyssal Court. I think if you kill someone in a courtroom, you just skip the trial. I don't know.
Immediate execution.
There's no trial. You just die.
That's why you gotta kill everyone in the courtroom, no witnesses.
Yeah, you do, or you just do what Velsh
In the abyssal courtroom, I guess I should say for Twitch purposes.
Abyssal
Abyssal made up
courtroom.
Dungeons and Dragons courtroom.
Not real courtroom.
In game.
In game.
In the game, in Minecraft.
In real life, in our game though.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Time. I have to talk about what just happened on my screen. Who the fuck's the running back for the Chiefs?
Pacheco?
Sure, he just fucking did a backflip.
Yeah, the man's a god.
That was outrageous what I just saw.
Yeah, the man's a
Anyway, we
god.
can continue.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
if we're interrupting, let's go Chiefs, baby!
No.
Let's go!
This is what we didn't want.
Woo! Okay, now we're back.
Anyway.
Do we need to discuss anything else?
Slip in. Hello? I heard there was a little bit of a commotion in here.
Yeah, I had like a weird stomach thing happening. Sorry.
Oh, did you have the bean burritos?
I did. As a
You
matter
didn't
of
have-
fact, I had like 4 or 5 of them. Worst mistake of my life.
my wife, Mrs. Bone. She says never eat the shellfish or the bean burritos in the abyss.
That's really good advice, actually. Wish I would have known that before now. Anyway.
Well, so I thought it would be best, since Velshinar's testimony is being put into the record, to read it myself after I had read it before, but you know, you gotta reread things. You're gonna want to take a look at this.
God damn
And
it.
pulls out Velshinar's testimony. First of all, most of it is redacted. It seems as though Velshinar claimed immunity on many things, and was granted immunity on many things.
What
One
items did he
key-
find on the island? Anyway.
The idol, he found the immunity idol.
That
The
one.
tribe has spoken.
Snuffed.
Oh man.
You begin skimming through what you can glean, and this term of broker keeps coming up over and over and over again, and it's like broker and then redacted, broker redacted, broker redacted. It also mentions broker redacted, Zygon redacted. You notice that Velshinar's testimony is very, like, direct. He's asked a question, he answers it, next question. However, you notice that when the question is, what is your relationship with Zygon? The answer is, like, half a page in length.
What the fuck? What the
Okay.
hell?
Most of it is redacted.
Dog.
What the fuck?
However, you do
Mhm.
notice that some words that aren't is put in contact, arranged for, identified daughter, things of that nature.
What?
And then
What the fuck?
the final question is, what was your interest in Zygon's daughter? Velshinar then explains that there is a prophecy that he believes is real, and that Zygon's daughter fits the description of the prophecy, but so does Zygon, so he ultimately doesn't care who redacted.
Don't we know that prophecy?
You vaguely do, yes. You don't know all the particulars of who's who, but you have heard it. And I believe Caleb has it in his notes somewhere.
Sure he does.
How far?
Of course he does.
How
When
far
did you receive the prophecy? That was at least 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a hot.
Gotta get the other notebook.
This is why you digitize, so that you can
I
keyword
have
search.
tabs at the very least.
Ugh.
But that's not gonna help unless I know which episode we talked about the prophecy.
Oh gosh, I don't even remember that.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to read this whole fucking book. I'm gonna have to fucking read a chapter book tonight.
A chapter book written by Animus, written by Caleb.
Written by... God damn it.
Callum then says, all right, so now that you've read that, check this out. And he pulls out the testimony from Saigon's daughter, Lilith. And she tells the story of meeting Fraz and Grazit. However, she did not meet them directly. There was another man that talked to her prior. And he is described by her as being very tall, with a long salt and pepper hair and thick salt and pepper beard, wearing very nice clothing.
No, dude. There's no fucking way.
Then she also says that with this man was another man who she describes as being a skeleton. It appears, however, that she has only recently remembered this due to working with the priests, or clerics, priests, and paladins of the Platinum Dragon. They've allowed her to resurface these memories because it was so traumatic for her. Then he pulls out the testimony from Zygon's wife, where she's talking about how they had a mission in Kaimal where they encountered a man fitting the same description as Gregorian, that he was the head of a insurgency that was trying to overthrow the government in Kaimal. Zygon, of course, wouldn't have remembered this until recently, and even then, it would be pretty fuzzy. She also talks about how he, it seemed as though his goal was to somehow overthrow the government to create a new one that focused more on unification of the planes. Not necessarily through, like, the planes becoming one, but more of having more close connections. Believing that if the planes integrated more, it would allow for a better afterlife and a better living life, for lack of a better word, for all involved.
She met Gregorian?
Yes, that is who she's talking about.
And he tried to what? Tried to get her to join something?
No, he didn't try. That was what his rebel group was. Their whole goal was to overthrow the government and then bring the other planes together, kind of like as like a one plane government, essentially.
Or they converge.
Yeah.
More synergy, you know.
Interesting. We're all so much more attached to this than we originally thought.
I have more testimonies if you would like to read them.
Jesus Christ.
But, you know, most of this I didn't think was relevant to the case, but now that I saw Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome outside, I thought, oh. Comes around here every so often. He sometimes is a defense attorney. He's actually quite good at what he does.
Who else is involved with these testimonies?
Oh, well, I have a Shavira, but she kind of just talks about how she met you guys.
Probably not too important. Anyone else?
He begins going through it. No. Oh, this Oscar guy, he's got to be hilarious.
Why the fuck did they talk to Oscar?
Because he knows you guys. You're beginning to think they interviewed basically everyone you've ever interacted with.
Abyssal Court does not.
Abyssal Court don't mess around.
I have to know, is there a Daryl on that list?
Oh, wouldn't you know it? He's right here.
Daryl.
Says he's living in Whitestone.
That's my Daryl.
Seems like he owns a bar. Oh, he really likes you too. Keeps going through it. It's over 200 testimonies. It's a big folder.
Is the meat man in there?
There's a few people who would not like to be identified. One of them asked, when asked, "Who are you?" he answered, "You want any meat?" And then it seems as though that kind of stopped the conversation there.
Got to him too. Poor guy.
Everyone.
Full disclosure, I honestly thought about making the Meat Man Marquez. I thought about it. I was like this close, and then I was like, a little too silly.
Would have ruined the Meat Man, Jacob. You would have ruined it.
No, the Meat Man has to stay pure.
He's the cabbage guy from Avatar. He just needs to be there, and that's all he does.
Yep.
Super simple.
Cabbages.
Cabbages. Yeah, no, hard pass. Dude, I'm never gonna find this prophecy.
Yeah, I mean, if I find anything else that's of relevance, I will bring it to your attention, and I will, if you want me to, I can have all these copied and sent to the guild hall.
I would love that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go get these copied. I'll leave Velshinar's with you. Maybe you can use some sort of, to figure out what's redacted.
We could probably try something to get that shit off the paper.
Now, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the eyes of the Rune Keeper, which allows me to read everything written.
Ooh. Ooh.
Because it was originally written down and then got covered up. So would that technically count? It's there, but we can't see it.
If you can read a language and then a bunch of black ink gets put on top of it, can you still read that language?
Here's a different question, Jacob. If we were in a cavern and there was clearly some sort of writing on the wall, but we could not see it with our own eyes because it was so well inscripted in the wall, and he used the eyes of the Rune Keeper, would you allow him to use it? Would that work? Is it that powerful?
It's not like you can see things. It's that it allows you to read any language.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not X-ray vision.
Yeah, it's not. You gotta read the comic book and see the X-ray specs on the back, and then send in your quarters and stamps.
Are there grooves? Is this a handwritten thing that got redacted?
It looks as though this has been copied over from the original testimony.
Was it handwritten, copied over, or do they have a print system in this world?
I would say it's handwritten. Yeah.
No printing press yet.
No printing press yet.
I'd like to flip.
There's very early stages of it, but nothing crazy.
I'd like to flip the paper over.
Okay.
Try to do a little bit of charcoal.
Ooh.
Rub the back of it. Then print onto a fresh piece of paper.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Come on, baby.
You have proficiency in forgery, right?
I have got expert forgery.
I will allow you to roll with advantage because this is a part of forgery.
Advantage on producing forgery and duplicates.
Yep.
I'm also going to add guidance. Big rolls, big rolls. Big rolls! 25. I thought I had more sleight of hand, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright. You get it down. It's not a perfect pull. The redaction system is pretty strong.
Okay.
You can read more of it now, but you're not going to be able to read the whole thing.
Okay.
What you can read now, It appears as though Velshinar was trying to find the pieces of the prophecy in order to secure them, in order to make the prophecy more likely. Through use of necromancy and just some scholarly work, he discovered that Zygon's family were the descendants of both celestials and infernal beings, and as such, fulfill the prophecy being from those two bloodlines. Once he identified them, he told Gregorian, who then brokered a contract with Fraz and Grazit to essentially control the prophecy piece, and in return, when the new world was created, Grazit and Fraz would be a part of it instead of being left behind, as Velshinar puts it. This also could be used to essentially throw out the case. Your scholarly minds, both Anzu and Animus, your lawyer ambitions and thoughts, this is clearly bribery and extortion, and could be thrown out quite easily.
Do you think we could take this straight to the judge without going?
The judge has an unredacted copy of the testimony.
Do you think we could go straight to the judge and tell her that we know the rest of the...
I suppose we could raise our concerns.
Well, if we do that, like, right now, we could just
As you go to the
her
next
office.
page and copy down the next page.
Next page. Son of a bitch.
They asked Velshinar what the new world is, because they want to define it. And he lays out that this world, in his belief and his belief of his allies, is fundamentally broken and needs to be changed in order to survive. He talks of bringing a new calamity that will reshape and disconnect the gods from the prime material plane, allowing for, in his words, the will of the people to outwill the will of the gods.
I say we take this straight to the judge right now. Do we know if Callum Bo's like in the courthouse still?
Yeah, he's going to make copies.
Anzu.
So we wait till he gets back and then we raise it to him.
Is that the safe option? Do you think someone would have already figured it out? I mean, these cards are scrying cards. Whoever fucking has these knows exactly what we're talking about, I would assume, right now. So if we will leave this room, go find Callum, and try to get to the judge, does your case get thrown out? Or are we going to get killed on the way to the copy room?
Making copies.
Die.
What about? I don't know.
We're on a time crunch here. Tomorrow is exactly 3 weeks left. Exactly. So if we get this thrown out today, it saves us a lot of time. I'll leave that up to you guys.
We gotta try it.
All right,
What do you think as former head of my legal counsel, Anzu Zook?
I have no opinion. I really just want to stretch, eat my eggs.
It's a true lawyer.
Are you still fly? Is he still flying?
No, that would have ended by now.
Really?
Yeah. It's been over an hour.
Oh.
You came back down.
But, Anzu, the flight did help your joints immensely.
Oh, thank you. I mean, my opinion is, like, the judge has all this, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's not that they're unaware of it.
I mean, we can talk to her about it, but I'm just not sure if it's like something she hasn't already thought of.
Anzu and Animus make a history check for me to see if you remember any legal procedure that you could do.
17.
15.
So, the two of you kind of thinking back and forth and talking to each other, you do believe that you could force the judge to call a special session in order for, just call everybody back, and she could theoretically end this trial today. There might be a reason, and Cirrus, you might know this answer, there might be a reason as to why they want Velshanar and the testimony to be entered into the record.
I think we do this right now. I think we do this right now. And we save tomorrow for us to move forward in what we need to do. Because this court, we need to get Zygon's name out of this. We need him to be free of this whole shit that he's been part of, especially if it's part of Velshanar. And now we need to move forward and gain as much power as we can, knowing what the hell we just had come talk to us and almost kill us in a courtroom.
Alright, I say we do it.
Do it. The worst she'll do is say no.
Alright. You head to the courtroom. I need the order.
Wait, can we not get Callum first?
Oh, you can if you want. I still need the order.
We want to get Callum first.
No, I need the order in which you are walking.
We're walking into a trap.
I'll be in the back.
I'd be somewhere in the front.
Alright. Thea, I need you to make
That's the third.
a dexterity saving throw.
Let's do it. Ten.
10.
Not great.
You're all going to the copy room. And as you do, a court case gets let out and a large crowd comes through. As that happens, Thea, you get separated because the hustle and bustle, you get separated.
I'm not used to the big city, you know.
You're not. I'm not used to the big city, mister. Anyway.
Girl.
Where's she from?
Where's she from? Living in a lonely world. How'd she get there? She took a midnight train go.
Such a good sketch. Anyway,
Will Ferrell, man.
Thea, you feel someone hook their arm around yours and immediately pull you into a side room. And you see a large man with long, lion-like hair
Son of a bitch.
and a nice beard looking down at you. And that's where we will end tonight's session.
Son of a fucking bitch.
Why am I being like Daphne'd right now? I don't like.
You're not being Daphne. There's a very specific reason why I needed to know who was in the back, because that would have happened to anybody. Whoever was in the back and rolled low on the dex
Anyone was
save.
gonna get Daphne'd, basically.
And he is very interested in talking to you.
Oh, he's a
Well, that's fair because I'm very interesting, but
Indeed.
truly one of the most interesting.
All right, so next week we're going to be taking a break. We're going to take a 1 weekend break, and we'll be back the following weekend. And then we'll be taking another break because
Super Bowl.
the Chiefs are going to be playing in the Super Bowl.
Chiefs will not be playing the Super Bowl.
what's going on
They're
next
going
week?
to beat the Ravens, dang it.
Kimmy's birthday is next weekend, so I am unable to.
We have...
And the Rolex 24.
And
yeah,
the
Jay-
Rolex 24,
And Zach has a race.
which Zach and I will probably watch a little bit of.
I'm watching all of it. It is
Staying
my
up, baby.
it
It's
is
his
my
goal.
life's
It's
mission
his goal to watch
to
a 24-hour
fucking
race.
watch all 24 hours.
He's made
of
it
the
so close.
fucking race.
He's
We're
been
gonna-
so close.
We will be back the following week, so first week in February. And we hope to see you all there. And to those watching on the YouTube in the future, hi, potential children.
Ew.
That's a weird
Yeah.
way to put it.
That
Fuck.
Though this will be super strange. Hey kids,
fuck off.
Dad loves you.
With that, Hunter is gone.
Oh, it's gonna be a weird one for them. Damn.
Oh man, mark it in your journal that this one is the one you show to your kids.
Oh my god.
No.
No.
Have a good week,
I'm
guys.
sorry that planning for the future is weird, Zach.
Oh man.
All right, see you later.
See you later, guys.